Okay, this is the spoiler review because, girl, why would you ever trust them? If you guys are new here, my name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. Back to talk about the brand new Tyler Perry movie, Mea Culpa, which aired on Netflix today. I'll say I was watching the whole thing. Predictability rating out of 10, I'd probably say it was probably around a 6 or a 7, because some things didn't play out the way that I thought they would. But this is the spoiler review. If you have not watched it, go ahead and click off, but come back later and watch this and interact with me. But yeah, so it basically opens up and we meet Mia, played by Kelly Rowland, and her husband, and they are going through it, honey. Um, he's got a terribly overbearing mother that he's got a very weird relationship with. Okay. And so we find out very on that his mom has cancer. And so, he's doing all of these extra things. Meanwhile, apparently he was an anesthesiologist, but he's been let go because he started getting high on his own supply. Okay. And so he's in and out of rehab, but Mia is paying all the bills. Okay, come to find out, he done sold Mia's piano to buy his mama a watch he couldn't afford, selling the dream to his family as if he's the one taking care of her. They go to a birthday dinner where she really doesn't want to be, but she reluctantly goes. And the mother is just full of disrespect. This is one of them situations where I feel like you married someone and you don't even, you have kids and you don't respect. I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, awful. Okay. And we see the relationship with the other son is very similar. You know what I mean? She even brings a girl, like his ex-girlfriend, to the table and sits her by him and puts his wife Mia and the other wife at the other end of the table. Child sick, okay? And just blatantly disrespectful, you know what I mean? And so my thing at that very moment is that I don't need to be a part of this family. First of all, I'm taking care of your whole grown-a son, which never going to happen. But aside from that, you don't have a healthy boundaries with your mother. And that would never work. Now, I know we like a man who loves his mama. Respect that. But that whole Oedipal thing, the like Oedipus Rex complex thing that some of these men have with their mamas is sick. And it's very unhealthy, okay? So keep going through. That's a mess. She gets to work and she's been referred a case, a high profile case. And she's like, no, I have a conflict of interest. My brother-in-law is the prosecuting attorney on the case. And so she's playing with the idea of taking this man's case because, baby, he fine. He come in there, with all the charm. And instantly you can tell Mia wants a piece, okay? And so she's like, I don't know, though. And so she tells her best friend, her brother-in-law's wife, and she looks, kind of bewildered and puzzled. And it's like, okay. And then she tells her husband and she's like, look, you not paying not a bill. Which bill you gonna pay? What bill you gonna pay, Lewis? That's how she came across. And I wasn't mad. So she's really going through the case thinking, okay, did this man commit this heinous crime? Because it's a capital case. And so she gets to dinner, or they basically tell the mama and the brother, and they confront her. And the mama's like, you're not going to take this case. You're not going to take it. And the brother's like, yeah, you're not going to do it. And she was like, well, you know what? I hadn't made up my mind to right now. I was like, well, I made it for you. She's like, Next day, baby, Mia took the case because who's about to play with y'all? So going on along in the story, not to go through all of the details, but she ends up taking the case and develops this kind of sick situation with the client, honey, because he's hell. Let's be honest. He's fine, but he's absolute hell, okay? And so they are going through it. She's kind of going back and forth about whether he's innocent or guilty. She tells him, you just need to tell me the truth. So the story kind of goes on and they end up getting bucky naked. I mean, he's got sex parties. Now, what got me was, how are y'all getting bucky naked like this after you just saw the chick riding that thing, bobbing and weaving, all of it, and you watching because you thought your husband went in, Another thing I felt like could have been developed more was the relationship with Jimmy, the investigator, because I thought that was odd. Anyway, moving right along, she ends up getting busy thinking that her husband had done something wrong at the hotel, but clearly that's not what happened. But she had already smashed him anyway. So anyway, they get into this thing. And they're kind of confronted, right? She's confronted by the family. What did you do? What did you do? And the other thing, I feel like, you're never going to confront me in front of your family. Like, that's never going to happen. So y'all can all sit around and no, because who are you? So basically, she confesses that she was intimate with the client. She removes herself from the case, and she's in the DR vacationing because she needs time away. The marriage then fell apart officially. Everything's over, right? Or so you think. So she's there. Now, the woman that they say that this man took out, her ex-client, girl, why she see her? She the maid at the resort. The maid at the resort, okay? And so this dummy, Mea, decides to call her brother-in-law. And it's like, he didn't kill her. She's down here. I found her. The girl beat her up, sprayed Lysol in her eyes, did all the things. It was a mess. And it was like, girl. And the brother is like, oh, I'll send my investigator, but you come back to the house, which I'm thinking immediately set up. And she should have known as well. Gets back to the house. Of course, it was a setup, honey. They trying to stab, shoot. I mean, whatever you could think of. And I'm like, you just going to stand there and let her stab you? So her best friend, the brother's wife, tries to help her, but they knock her out, get her out of there soon. She gets into the car. She hits the mama. The brother is still trying to get her. She pokes his eye out or stabs him some kind of way, but he's still living. She's running down the road, honey, like Jackie Joyner Kersey. And then her husband pulls up and she's thinking it's all good. And she's like, call 911, call 911. He's acting like he cares. Girl, on the phone, 911, it's giving Legion, okay? Very much was his brother talking about bringing her back. And so she sees an oncoming semi. He's the driver, so she kind of veers the wheel. Baby, he gone. Projectile. And so they call the police and everything gets wound up. But I mean, like I said, there were some spaces in it where I felt like, come on, be for real. But overall, it had my interest. I will say it's a little graphic, honey. They getting Bucky naked for sure. But yeah, I mean, definitely worth the watch. Is it like a 10 out of 10? No. But it's something to keep you occupied. I feel like the acting was respectable. I don't feel like it was super cheesy, but there were parts that were really just far-fetched. But anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.